We're gonna take the knees wider than the hips, toes together. So your legs are in this kind of externally rotated position, rolling the shoulders down and back, growing nice and tall. Think lifting up away from the mat. And we're just gonna start with an alternating bicep curl here. One hand has no weight, one hand does. So your core is really just working to keep stable and not fall towards the side with the weight and not swing back and forth. So no momentum here, pure upper body and core, and some stability from the legs. Give me 2 and 1. Holding the side with the weight down. The other hand is by your chest. You're gonna start to reach up and over a big beach ball and then press down through underneath the arm to come back, okay? Back, over, and press. Like you're reaching up and over, keeping both sides of waist long, and then that opposite oblique has to really lift you up. So the side that doesn't have the weight right here is lifting up. You can think like you're grounding down through that opposite side knee to help you lift up. Just 2 more here. Up and over. Keeping shoulders rolled down the back, chest open. Last one, we're gonna go all the way up and over, taking that hand slightly away from you, and then coming into this tripod stance. You can always shift around. The weight is on your outer thigh now. You're gonna lift the leg and lower. Think reaching long out of the crown of your head, out of the toes. Ribs are in, allowing that weight to bear down on the outer thigh, providing some extra resistance for the top bum to lift up and lower. The further you have it up the leg, the easier it will be. And the further you roll it down the leg, the harder it will get. Of course, you're limited by the length of your arms. Amazing. Give me 2. Starting to feel that build there. We're gonna hold in 1. Holding here, tiny circles. Circle back and back and back. Coming from deep in the hip. We're feeling outer bum and core. You've got 3 more this direction and 2. We're gonna switch. 1, let's go forward. Circle. Amazing. I know it's not easy. If you've dropped that leg, pick it back up for me. In 2, in 1. You bring it back in, and you're gonna sit down into that bum and stretch it side child's pose. Amazing. We're gonna come all the way back up, opening back up through those knees, grabbing onto the weight with the other hand now, and we're gonna go into the bicep curl. Finding our center here. Okay, we're gonna work the other side. We know it's coming. And again, trying not to shift back and forth, minimizing that swing to curl the weight up. Give me 2. And 1. Holding the weight down, other hand in. You're gonna reach up and over and then press down by your side. Okay, up and over a big beach ball. And press down. Again, you can think pressing down through opposite knee to lift up here. And then you feel kind of nice and light, like you're reaching out of the mat. And then you ground down through opposite knee. Just 2 more. Not allowing the shoulder with the weight to roll forward. Last one here. We're gonna go all the way up and over, planting the hand on the mat. That opposite leg comes out and you start to lift and lower. Let's check our stance here. We're in one long line, like the body is in between 2 panes of glass, except for the bottom foot is slightly behind you, providing kind of a kickstand. But our ribs are in, head and neck are in line with the spine. You're thinking reaching long out of the leg. You can point or flex the foot here. For me, it's more about thinking just reaching energetically out through the leg and lifting up through side bum. This side will feel like it burns out more quickly just because it was stabilizing us on the last side. So we've got 2 more. We know we've got those circles, right? We can do it. Last one, let's hold. We start with a tiny circle back. Tiny circle, so small. Allowing that weight to fall into the leg so we're not lifting off of it. If you ever need to drop the weight, you can, but try to allow it to sink into the leg so your leg has to fight against it. Last one in this direction, let's reverse. Tiny circles. Staying tall on the bottom leg and arm for 4. You got this. In 3. In 2, we stretch. Last one. Woo! Bring it in. Side child's pose for me. Amazing. We're gonna come to a seat. We're gonna take the feet nice and wide. Wider than the mat. Okay, grabbing on to the weight here. Sitting up nice and tall. And we're gonna start to tuck through the tail, rounding down. As you reach forward, just halfway curl here. And then you lift up, reverse. Okay, so you tuck through the tail, reaching tailbone towards the heels. Shallow curve, you're still nice and long in the spine. So even though we're rounding down, I want you to think like you're getting longer. Longer, longer, longer in the core. Amazing. Just 2 more here. You'll find that that weight provides a little counterbalance as well. So this is a great one as you start to incorporate weights into your roll downs. And then I'm going to show us a more advanced variation next. And up. We're going to shift the weight into one hand. Again, keep going there, or you're joining me for a full roll down. Weight in one hand, we roll, roll, roll all the way down, trying to maintain length. Reaching overhead, slightly neutral at the bottom, little dip in the low back. You start to tuck through the chin, roll up bone by bone. As you grow tall, you press the weight overhead. Okay, 3 more on this side. Don't rush it. Curling up, roll, 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 and press. Rolling down. Trying to lose any momentum. Belly button pulls up and in, and lift. Let's switch the weights at the top. We roll down. Same thing on the other side. One side's gonna feel harder than the other. Okay, that's totally normal. You might have to fight a bit harder. This is my harder side. As you try to keep everything level, so you're trying to equally roll down on both sides of the spine. As you lower, and equally roll up as you lift. 2 more. Rolling down. Amazing. And lift. Think lift up and in through the belly button. Press from underneath the armpit there. Okay, really think about that on this last one. So underneath the armpit pulls the weight back in. Core helps to lift you. And then underneath the armpit into the oblique. Press you overhead and down. And then we're going to pull that weight back to the center. Quick little bridge here, rolling all the way down. You're gonna walk the feet in closer, but keep them wide like they were before. Hands are gonna press over the chest, allowing the shoulders to sink into the mat. You're gonna lift the hips, pull the weight down towards them, and then lower. Okay, it's almost like you're pulling. You wanna find that resistance. Again, we don't have the heaviest weight here. Our glute bridge could probably handle a lot more. So I need you to create that mind to muscle connection, like you're lifting and pulling up the hips against that weight. Amazing. And 2. And 1. Now we hold the weight. You're gonna go halfway and lift. Halfway and lift. One way to add extra resistance here is to press the palms into the weight, into the hips, but trying to keep the neck and the jaw relaxed. We're not tucking the hips under at the top, and we're not like intentionally squeezing the glutes. We're just finding this extension through the front of the hips, keeping neutral spine, and your glutes will naturally activate there. As you press the hips up, you're thinking pressing feet, heels especially into the mat. For 2, we're going halfway. I'm going all the way down now. Let's keep it halfway. Last one, holding up. Tiny pulses and pulse and pulse. Little lifts. It's 1 inch, so tiny. And I really want you to tap in to the back of the legs, especially glutes here pressing for you. Give me 8, 7, 6, 5. Press into that weight. 4, 3, 2, 1. Rolling the spine all the way down. Taking that weight off to the side. You're gonna roll all the way up. And you're gonna stretch the legs out front. You can have a soft bend here if you've got tight hamstrings like me. We're gonna reach the hands up overhead. Start to hinge forward. When you can no longer hinge, you allow yourself to round forward over the legs. Allow the head and neck to fall. Breathing laterally into the ribs, expanding through the rib cage, finding space. Let's roll all the way up one more time. We reach up and then hinge forward and then rounding forward. Bigger bend in the knees is feeling good for me today, so just find where your body's at. Maybe you shimmy side to side as we breathe here. And then we're gonna roll up bone by bone. One last reach towards the ceiling. Feel the tallest you felt all day. And then circle your arms by your side. And that was your full body strength class. You did an amazing job. Not easy once we start to add these heavy weights, but you made it. And I hope to see you back with me on the mat soon.